Hello, my name is Jason Mann, and today we'll be interviewing Brother Joe Childers, and he's a missionary down in Grenada. And we're going to see what the Lord is doing through his ministry and how we can pray for him and help him serving the King of Kings down in Grenada. Enjoy.
My name is Joseph Childers, and my wife Donna and I are missionaries in the country of Grenada. She was actually born and raised in Grenada, and as a teenager, she went up to the States, and a soul winner came, knocked on her door, led her to Christ, and after that, she went off to Bible college. I met her there my first day, and the rest is history.
Amen.
So,
You have children?
yes, sir. We have three kids. Our oldest is Brielle, age 9, and we have our son Ryan, age 6, and then our daughter Noelle is age 3.
So
we have
to help us that don't know, where is Grenada?
Grenada is a small island in the very bottom of the Caribbean, so less than 100 miles north of Venezuela, and pretty close to Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. And how long have you been there?
We arrived in Grenada in 2016, so we have been here for about 6.5 years.
Oh, when were you saved? Did we talk about that? When did you get saved?
I was actually saved just about a month and a half into Bible college. So it was September 5th, 2004. We are church planting missionaries. So first and foremost, we are here to plant churches and train the nationals to take over the leadership there. So with our first church plant, Lifeline Independent Baptist Church in Grenville, the second largest town in the entire country, an area of 25,000 people. And we established the church here about 5 years ago. And in our first year, it became apparent that a few of our men had a desire for deeper knowledge. So we started a Bible Institute for them as well. And one of them went from there off to Bible college. Actually, two of them went off to Bible college. And one of them is just about finished. And he plans to take a church at St. Vincent next summer. A little over a year ago, we started a Christian school as well. So primary school for kindergarten through grade 6. And then this year we added a preschool. So kind of start them young and then keep them up until their teenage years. The schools in Grenada are run by the government, and the government really allows that to be overseen by the Catholic and Anglican churches. So all the government education is either Catholic or Anglican. So the best schools in our area are Catholic. So my daughter has to go to school. So she comes home and she knows the rosary, she knows the sign of the cross, and all these Catholic practices. And she started asking us about it. And I started talking to some of the children within the church, and we have a lot of children that come to the church at times. And they get one thing at home from whatever their mother was brought up in. They get something else in school, and then in church we have totally different practices than what they know. And these children are being brought up just so confused as to what is right, what is wrong, and why do we do what we do. So we are looking for our children personally to homeschool. And just to make a long story short, we went to the government for their approval. And in that meeting, they had another family that wanted to homeschool. And it was actually a Muslim man, and he had several friends who wanted to homeschool their kids. But the way they wanted to do it was to hire a teacher to come teach all 4 or 5 of their kids together. And the government was telling them that's not a homeschool, that's a private school. So in that meeting, we learned all about homeschooling and all about starting a private school. And the requirements for a private school are way, way easier. There's very little red tape at all.
And besides your kids, how many students are there?
We have 18 children altogether.
18
this
children.
Year. So last year we had 6. What we were looking to do is for the students to be able to pay something. Every parent here in Grenada will send their children off to preschool. So the cost of a preschool is the same cost that we are charging for the Christian school, which is basically about $60 US per month. Well, there are really 2 hindrances to going back to the States right now. One of them is somebody needs to be here to run the day-to-day operations of the school. And that's what I've been doing. And then the second thing is just at this time, even though we have a few men in training and men that are becoming more capable, they are not yet ready to take over the entire church. We are considering And I actually have a plan to go back next year
Hmm.
for 3 weeks in the summer, and then for 2 weeks in the fall. But when we came to Grenada, we had 94% of our support. Then when the pandemic hit, we had churches that closed, we had churches that just dropped their missions program, we had some that lowered our support, and we dropped over 20% of our support.
Mm.
And we went down to the high 60s. And we've had a couple churches since then take us on. But right now we're right at 75% of our support. And we're between $1,600 and $2,000 a month short of where we need to be. Well, for me, I am a visionary. I see a lot of things that people look at me and think I'm crazy, and that's all right. Grenada is a small country. We have about 110 or 115,000 people, but at the same time, they are souls that Christ died for.
Yes, sir.
And this is a place that God has called me, and I don't apologize for the lack of numbers that we have here in the country. But as far as my vision for the future, Lifeline is a pretty well-established church. We own almost an acre of land outright. We own our buildings, including with the school, outright as well. We have no debt. I thank God for that. So for the church,
Amen.
My desire would be within about 3 to 4 years to bring on an assistant pastor, and then basically give him more and more responsibilities as time goes. And
Hmm.
then eventually, basically, I would step back into more of the assistant role and leave him up there in the top. We are also working right now, within about 2 years, to have a Canadian national running the school. And my vision for that would be to have a man and his wife. The wife would come and teach in probably grades 5 and 6 in our combined classes. And then he would become the principal and administrator of the school. Then I would also help him in actually starting a second church. We're looking to plant a church in an area called Union. And it's an area with about 7 villages surrounding it, where there is no churches really trying to do any kind of outreach and evangelistic work there. So I would love to be able to start the second church there,
Hmm.
and we would be there to assist. We would be there for counsel. We'd be there to help as much as we can, and see how God would work with that. With the Bible Institute, my desire long term is that our current men that we have that are in it, we have 6 people right now that are faithfully attending that. And I would like for each of those 6 to become really faithful in church, running most of the ministries within the church, and then to eventually take the Bible college, the Bible Institute, and turn it into a full-fledged Bible college. So my desire would be that from here, we have the land, we have the facilities. I'm praying that God would do that kind of a movement even from here in Grenada. My intention, I've been here for 6.5 years.
Hmm.
I tell everybody I plan to be here for 50.
Amen.
God has called me here. I love it here. For missions groups, we have accommodated probably 7 or 8 groups already in our time here. That's despite the COVID time. So with groups, we have had them very successfully run a vacation Bible school where we'll have 150 children. That was in our old location. Now we'll probably double that number here.
Amen.
But where they were basically going canvassing every morning and inviting people out, and then in the afternoon we'd come back and have a vacation Bible school, and we saw dozens and dozens of children saved from that. And a couple of those children now are actually in the Christian school, and we got some contacts there with parents and all that. I guess in the next summer, we do plan to do one more building project also for the last building for our school, and we don't have the finances for it yet, but we are going to have the need for one additional classroom. And we've had, I think, 2 times before where we've had a group come and help with putting up one of the buildings. If somebody wants to send a group here, we are willing to accommodate, and groups would be basically limited to between 10 and 12 people just due to transportation.
All right. Thank you very much, Brother Joe, for your time and your the opportunity allowed here to share your vision for reaching the country God called you to. Here is the contact information. Please reach out to him and see how the Lord can connect the both of you to helping him reach Grenada for Christ. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one.